For decades, humanity has gazed into the depths of space, searching not only for distant planets and stars, but for the anomalies that defy explanation. In the vast darkness, most objects obey predictable rules, reflecting sunlight, scattering dust, or following the known laws of physics. But when the James Webb Space Telescope, our most advanced eye in the sky, trained its instruments on 3IAtlas, something extraordinary appeared. The light coming from this interstellar visitor was unlike anything astronomers had ever seen. It was not a mere reflection of the sun. It was not cosmic dust scattering photons randomly through space. Instead, it appeared controlled, precise, almost purposeful, radiating as if the object itself were generating its own glow. The glow had a consistency and intensity that suggested intelligence or advanced engineering rather than natural processes. Scientists and engineers stared at the data in disbelief. Every instrument designed to differentiate between natural and artificial light confirmed the same shocking result. 3IAtlas was emitting light, and that light seemed deliberate, almost alive. What began as a routine observation of a distant object became an urgent investigation into the possibility that we were witnessing something entirely unprecedented, something that blurred the line between astronomy and the unknown. The world had not prepared for a moment like this, where a simple scan of the cosmos revealed a mysterious light that challenged everything we thought we knew about the universe. Unlike anything born in our solar system, 3IAtlas arrived from the depths of interstellar space, a traveler flung across the void between stars. Its trajectory was unusual, almost deliberate, slicing through our solar neighborhood with a precision that caught astronomers off guard. Unlike asteroids or comets, which drift under the influence of gravity and radiation, 3IAtlas seemed to move with intent, its path defying expectations at every turn. Even its rotation was remarkable, stable and measured, not the chaotic tumble typical of small celestial objects hurtling through space. Scientists quickly realized this was not a wandering rock left to chance. Every observation confirmed that 3IAtlas had come from somewhere else, far beyond the reach of our sun, carrying secrets of a star system millions or even billions of light-years away. Its passage into our neighborhood raised urgent questions. How did it survive the journey? Why did it appear so bright for its size? What hidden mechanisms could explain such controlled motion across the darkness of space? Each data point seemed to whisper a single, chilling truth. This was no ordinary comet or asteroid. Humanity was witnessing the arrival of an interstellar visitor, a silent messenger from beyond. And the more scientists studied it, the more its alien origin became undeniable. The implications were staggering, challenging everything we thought we knew about the behavior of objects in our own solar system. From the very first images, astronomers noticed something unusual about 3IAtlas. Unlike a comet or asteroid, which flickers and flares as sunlight bounces off ice and dust, this object shone with a steady, unwavering light. Its brightness did not fluctuate, it did not dim, and it did not flare unpredictably the way frozen rock or ice would when heated by the sun. This was a crucial clue. If 3IAtlas were a simple comet, its glow would follow natural patterns, responding to sublimation of ice, releasing gas and dust in chaotic bursts. Instead, the light seemed controlled, consistent, as if powered from within. Scientists compared it to known celestial phenomena and found no match. Every telescope, every filter, every wavelength revealed the same anomaly. A small object emitting a glow that had the hallmarks of intentional design rather than natural reflection. The steady light suggested energy, a mechanism, or even a form of lifelike activity. It was a signal that 3IAtlas was not passive, not inert, and perhaps not even natural at all. This consistent illumination became one of the first signs that humanity was no longer observing a simple interstellar visitor. It was staring at something that might have been engineered or alive, challenging our very understanding of what could exist in the cosmos. The more scientists examined it, the more unsettling the realization grew. This light was not just visible, it was deliberate, a hint of purpose shining across the void. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss any updates on the universe's deepest secrets. And if you love exploring hidden mysteries and unexplained discoveries, give this video a like so we know to keep uncovering them. As the James Webb Space Telescope trained its advanced thermal instruments on 3IAtlas, scientists discovered something even more extraordinary. This was no ordinary reflection of sunlight. The object was emitting its own heat, a centralized thermal signature that radiated outward from its core. Natural objects, like comets or asteroids, release heat only as they absorb sunlight, or from the slow decay of radioactive elements. But 3IAtlas behaved differently. Its heat pulsed faintly, irregularly, almost like a heartbeat, cycling in subtle intervals that suggested a deliberate rhythm. This was not the random warming of space debris. It was structured, coordinated, and precise. The thermal pulses hinted at an internal mechanism, something operating far beyond ordinary geological processes. It was as if the object itself was alive, or engineered, an artificial construct moving through the void with controlled energy. Each pulse told a story, one that defied every known natural explanation. The consistency and pattern of the thermal output forced scientists to ask the unthinkable. Could this be technology? Could it be a machine built by an intelligence far beyond our own? 3IAtlas was no longer just an interstellar visitor. It was a phenomenon that blurred the line between nature and design, revealing that somewhere deep inside this distant traveler, a source of energy was quietly, deliberately powering its presence. The implications were staggering, raising questions that would challenge humanity's understanding of both physics and life itself. As scientists analyzed the surface of 3IAtlas, even more startling details emerged. Its reflectivity, or albedo, in certain regions was nearly perfect, far too uniform to be ice, rock, or dust. Some areas gleamed like polished metal, catching and directing light in ways no natural object could. Spectroscopic analysis revealed materials that did not match anything commonly found in our solar system, including highly reflective alloys and rare elements. But it wasn't just what it was made of, it was how it emitted light. 3IAtlas radiated in narrow, controlled bands, the same principle used in human-designed LEDs and communication lasers. The wavelengths were precise, concentrated, and, in some cases, matched frequencies used in our own communication and guidance systems. It was as if the object had an internal purpose, projecting energy and information in a way that seemed intentional. Every observation reinforced the unsettling conclusion. This was not a natural interstellar rock drifting randomly through space. 3IAtlas appeared structured, deliberate, and engineered, a construct built with intent rather than chance. The combination of metallic shine, engineered spectral lines, and controlled light emission left scientists grappling with a terrifying possibility. This visitor from beyond the stars was more than a relic of another system. It might be a technological artifact, a probe, or even something alive in ways humanity could barely comprehend. The silent, gleaming surface was not just evidence of material composition. It was a message, a sign of intelligence hidden in plain sight, waiting to be understood. As radio telescopes and observatories tuned into 3IAtlas, scientists noticed more than just strange light and thermal signatures. The object was emitting electromagnetic energy across a broad spectrum, initially appearing chaotic, like the background static every telescope has recorded at some point. But when researchers applied advanced filters and mathematical transforms to the data, a startling pattern emerged. Beneath the apparent randomness was a repeating pulse, a signal structured with precision that no natural phenomenon could replicate. The intervals were almost perfect, yet with subtle variations that suggested deliberate design. a kind of hidden communication woven into what first seemed like noise. Every test confirmed the same result. This was not a random cosmic hum. It was organized, purposeful, and unmistakably intentional. Some scientists speculated that 3IAtlas might be broadcasting, while others whispered the more unsettling possibility that it could be listening too. The object was not a passive visitor drifting through the solar system. It was actively engaging with its environment in a way that implied intelligence or advanced technology. Each pulse, each cycle of electromagnetic energy hinted at a level of sophistication that challenged humanity's understanding of what an interstellar object could be. The signal was deliberate, consistent, and unnervingly elegant, a cosmic whisper hidden in the chaos of space, waiting for someone or something to hear it. Observations of 3IAtlas revealed something truly unsettling. Its pulses were not entirely static. As the object moved through regions of varying solar wind and cosmic radiation, subtle shifts appeared in the timing and intensity of its electromagnetic signal. These changes were slight, almost imperceptible, yet consistent enough to suggest that 3IAtlas was responding to its environment. It was as if the object could sense the forces around it, adjust its output, and react in real time. Some scientists began to propose a chilling possibility. This was not just a beacon or transmitter, but a participant in its surroundings, actively listening to the space it traveled through. Every spike, every modulation of its signal hinted at awareness, a level of interaction with its environment that no natural object could achieve. The idea that a distant visitor from the stars might be monitoring us, or simply observing everything in its path, sent ripples of unease through the scientific community. 3IAtlas was no longer a passive interstellar rock. It was a dynamic entity, adjusting, responding, and perhaps even learning as it traversed our solar system. The implications were profound. If an object could sense and react in this way, it suggested intelligence or sophisticated technology far beyond humanity's current understanding. Suddenly, the universe felt far less empty and far more attentive. Then it happened. In a moment that stunned astronomers worldwide, 3IAtlas erupted in a sudden and violent surge of light. Its brightness climbed by nearly 40% in a matter of minutes, a spike so abrupt and symmetrical that it defied every known natural process. This was not the chaotic flicker of a comet outgassing ice and dust under sunlight. Natural objects change gradually, flares occur sporadically, and thermal shifts are uneven and random. But 3IAtlas performed with precision, almost surgical in nature, as if a mechanism deep inside had switched on for the very first time. Almost simultaneously, the James Webb Space Telescope recorded a concurrent rise in the object's thermal signature. The heat didn't spread haphazardly. It radiated in a uniform, centralized way, as though the entire body of the object had been energized from within, warming deliberately like a machine powering up. Scientists described it in words that seemed almost inadequate. It was as if a stone had suddenly taken a breath. Every instrument across Earth and in orbit confirmed the same thing. This was an intentional, coordinated release of energy, a controlled activation unlike anything ever observed in space. The timing of the flare was uncanny. It occurred precisely as 3IAtlas crossed a particular threshold in the solar system, almost as if it were responding to an invisible trigger. Some researchers began to speculate that the object was not merely reacting to sunlight or gravitational forces, but was actively monitoring its surroundings and choosing the exact moment to display this surge. Could it have detected our telescopes, our observations, or even our presence? The implications were staggering. This was not a passive traveler. This was a body that seemed capable of action, of control, and perhaps even intent. In the minutes following the flare, astronomers observed subtle changes in its energy profile. The object's thermal signature remained elevated, suggesting that some dormant system had been awakened and was now running silently in the background. Whatever mechanism inside 3IAtlas had triggered the flare was still active, quietly influencing the object's behavior. The scientific community was thrown into a mixture of awe and alarm. Suddenly, the visitor from interstellar space was no longer just an object of observation. It had demonstrated an ability to act, to respond, and possibly even to communicate without words. Humanity had crossed a threshold, peering not at a lifeless rock, but at something that might be alive with intent. The flare was a signal, a demonstration of power, and a chilling reminder that 3IAtlas was no ordinary celestial body. It had chosen this moment to reveal itself, to make its presence undeniable, and to show that it was more than a silent observer drifting through the cosmos. It was a force that could act on purpose, with precision, and perhaps with awareness. In the days after the flare, astronomers noticed something that sent shivers through the scientific community. 3IAtlas was no longer following the orbit that had been predicted with painstaking precision using Newtonian mechanics and AI-powered simulations. At first, the deviations were minuscule, fractions of a degree that might have been dismissed as observational error. But soon, the shift became undeniable, measurable, and far too deliberate to be random. The object's path had subtly realigned itself, moving closer to the plane of Earth's orbit, almost as if it were adjusting its course to intersect with the inner solar system. Scientists scrambled to explain the phenomenon. Could a jet of gas escaping from the object have nudged it? Could its mass have been underestimated? Could solar radiation or gravitational perturbations account for the shift? Every natural explanation failed. The change was too clean, too precise, too calculated. It resembled the mid-course corrections executed by a spacecraft with guidance systems, not a drifting rock at the mercy of gravity. The timing was equally striking. The trajectory adjustment occurred shortly after the flare, suggesting a connection between the sudden surge of light and thermal energy and the object's subsequent movement. It was as if 3IAtlas had woken up and decided to make a course correction immediately after demonstrating its internal activation. As scientists modeled the new orbit, an unsettling pattern emerged. The adjustment was not random. It was aligning 3IAtlas for a closer approach to Earth's orbital neighborhood, not close enough to trigger planetary defense protocols, but close enough to be impossible to ignore. Some began to whisper that the object was maneuvering for observation, for a flyby, or even for interaction. The idea that a distant interstellar visitor could actively navigate, sense its environment, and respond with deliberate movement challenged the foundations of astronomy. Natural objects, even interstellar interlopers like Oumuamua, drift under gravity and radiation pressure. They do not decide their path. Yet here was 3IAtlas, seemingly aware, seemingly intentional, adjusting its course in a way that implied intelligence or guidance. Humanity had, for the first time, confronted the chilling possibility that an object from deep space had noticed us, had calculated its next move, and was closing in on purpose. The implications were profound. We were no longer passive observers of the cosmos. Something out there was aware of us, responding to us, and moving deliberately through the void toward our neighborhood. As the true nature of 3IAtlas began to sink in, the world's leading scientists faced a question that was both terrifying and exhilarating. Could this interstellar visitor be intelligent? Governments went silent, observatory data was locked behind firewalls, and speculation ran rampant. But one organization refused to wait in silence. The SETI Institute, long dedicated to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, decided to act. They transmitted a focused radio pulse directly at 3IAtlas, a cosmic handshake sent across millions of miles of space. The message was simple yet profound. It contained universal mathematical constants, the periodic table and basic diagrams representing humanity itself. It was a careful, cautious greeting, a question cast into the void asking, Are you there? Days passed in tense anticipation. Observatories monitored the skies, waiting for a response, but at first, there was nothing. Then, on the third day, the breakthrough came. One of SETI's monitoring stations in Chile detected a return signal. It was narrow, precise, and unmistakably timed, arriving exactly 72 hours after the original transmission. This was no echo, no random scattering, no natural cosmic interference. The signal had been received, processed, and sent back, suggesting that 3IAtlas was not only capable of receiving our message, but had deliberately responded. Scientists around the world scrambled to analyze the data, confirming that the return was structured, non-random, and far too organized to be natural noise. The implications were staggering. For the first time in human history, we may have communicated with an object from another star system, one that could think, respond, and potentially understand the universe around it. 3IAtlas was no longer a silent visitor drifting through space. It was a participant, a presence with the ability to interact with its environment and possibly with us. This cosmic handshake hinted at intelligence far beyond our own, a mind operating through a vessel or mechanism capable of traversing interstellar distances and maintaining communication. Humanity had crossed an unprecedented threshold, from observing the unknown to potentially engaging with it. The object that began as a faint speck on the edge of the solar system had revealed itself not just as alive with intent, but as an entity capable of deliberate interaction, challenging everything we thought we knew about life, intelligence, and our place in the cosmos. If you found this journey through hidden science, cosmic secrets, and potential alien infrastructure as mind-blowing as we did, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Don't miss future explorations into the universe's deepest mysteries, because some secrets are just waiting to be uncovered.